Yo, what's up, guys? It's the Moral Compass, Mark Poulton. With me today, the main event, the early bird. He beats us to the green room before anyone. It's Phil McNulty. What's up, Phil?
Not much. Living my best life. Loving the chat right now. And but seriously, I think it's because it's been a while before I've been like this excited about something I've been doing, and I've been working on it for Sean's Type 1 book, and as we were talking before the show started, I'm inking it, and I'm loving the effects I'm putting even on this little shoulder, and I'm just like, this is top. This is 90s image. Think Wildcats more than Shadowhawk.
Awesome. And speaking of Sean, we got best friend Sean, JT, in the house. This guy, I see him popping up on every live stream. He was on Bancroft's channel last night. He's on the chat with Leroy. He's the belle of the ball. Everyone loves Sean Ahrendt.
I am very appreciative for all the love and support everybody showing, myself and Joe, for art and stuff. Very grateful. Thank you, everyone that hung out with us for almost 7.5 hours last Friday on the 1-year art anniversary. It was great times. And thank you, Mark, for your donation. It was great. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Very blessed.
Yeah, Phil, did you watch the anniversary show?
I was not. Listen, I can't even watch professional wrestling right now. I'm putting together graduation for students. So I will do my best to check it out. I love the show. So
they had me on as a surprise to give away a prize, and they had me in the description listed.
It is not a secret that I don't do anything when it comes to putting the show together.
Yeah. Well, we know.
Like I'm not throwing Joe in front of the bus. I may be tripping him a bit, but no, it's all love. It turned out great. The giveaway you did was awesome. Jasper planned on who had won it. He's really excited, and as he should be, because it's really rare. And that's a fact, because it was Graveyard Shift Volume 1, Volume 2, U.S. Assassin Volume 1 and Volume 2. And those are low prints. Like very hard to get. And if you do happen a chance to get them, you're going to be shelling a pretty penny. So that's fucking awesome.
I threw in my first issue of Hawkman too for him.
Oh, really cool. Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, nice. There you go.
He had said something in the chat about Hawkman. And I said, I'll see what I can do. And I was going through my box of books, and I found Savage Hawkman number 9. So I included that as well.
We appreciate that. Jasper's one of our a top member of the chat. So he's been with us for a long time. So thank you.
Cool. We got Mr. Von Stugel in the chat.
Von Stugel, yeah.
Is that a monkey icon?
Mm-hmm.
We got Darren Wagner.
D-Wag.
We got Phil McNulty. This is why he's so beloved. He's in the chat, trying to make some fans. Leroy, it's nice of the Moral Compass to name the stream 3 cool guys to be nice to Dirty Lip McNulty.
That doesn't make sense because I'm one of the 3 guys, so it doesn't make sense. Leroy, you're better than that. You are better than that, my friend.
Leroy.
Do you know what the 3 cool guys is from?
No.
It's from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I've never seen that. I've seen maybe here and there, but it's on my lists to binge.
They placed an ad, 3 cool guys looking for other cool guys to hang out with in their party mansion. Nothing sexual. I was gonna do that whole thing, and I was like, yeah, that's a little too much.
You should have. I think we all would have been down for it.
We would have took it, yeah. Am I raging?
We got the Assassin's Guild president, Walt, in the house. What's up, Walt?
Very cool.
We got the Coleman.
Coleman. Ooh.
What's up, Coleman?
How you doing?
That's a new one. We haven't seen Coleman before in the chat.
No, thanks for coming by.
All right, we're all caught up.
Yeah.
I have nothing planned for today because I just figured we'd BS and talk about whatever. I know Sean's feeling a little down, a little sluggish. I went to the zoo today. I'm a little tired. Phil's excited and amped, so he's gonna have to carry this show, I think.
Yeah.
Much to Leroy's dismay.
Phil looking sharper than a razor. Ouch, just cut myself.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Mr. Von Stugel says that was a good sunny episode. So, Sean, why don't you start things off? How has it been? You've been doing a ton of live streams and getting the word out on Type 1, the Ott and Stuff anniversary. Would you care to share how everything went in your opinion?
It was a shit show. No, I'm kidding. It was awesome. It was a great time. Yeah, that's you know, I got a little more of the south of the border herps. But no, the show went great. You came on, we had Dan Fraga, who we kind of call the A&S Godfather. He was kicking it with us. And then when we jumped off and did a second stream, Kenneth Rockerford came on. Dude, what a cool dude. What a cool guy. He's one of the most talented guys in the world. We're hopefully we're going to be doing our next sketch and stuff. Hopefully he'll be joining us. So we're going to be working on that. A lot of great giveaways. Joe and I gave away 2 original pieces that we both did. One for Reaper Destroyer, one for Strees for the Type 1. A couple books from John Boy Myers, who donated some books. Last night we were on Bancroft's channel, and that was great as always. Mike's good people. He's one of another stepping stone for us to Joe and I to get out there in the people's eyes. Last night I debuted Shelby Robertson's recolors of my Type 1 Type 1 preview book, and I am up to 68 pre-orders as of now. So thank you, everyone.
So the next one is 69.
The next one is 69. Yeah,
man.
And whoever the 69th one is will be getting a bust ink sketch of my villain. So again, the bust is chest up. So, and it's going to be in the same realm that John Malin did for Graveyard Shit Volume 1. If you got a sketch with it, you know, it'll be about this big. It'll be a pen and ink. So, yeah. Same thing with the Strees bust for the A&S mods and A&S chat members. Everyone else gets a head sketch, so be here, collar up, and you know things are going good. I'm really blessed. We're in a good spot. A&S is getting more and more views, more and more subscribers, and we have a lot of help from a lot of great people. And I'm not allowed to blow Leroy's ego anymore because it makes him blush.
Phil, do you hear this? He's rubbing elbows with Dan Fraga, Kenneth Rocafort. Soon he won't even need us. It'll be the Best Friend show starring JT, Fraga, and Rocafort.
Never.
We've been cut out, son of a bitch.
Never. If I can quote one of a friend of ours who's helped us all in many ways. Never forget the people that gave you your first shot. Mm-hmm. And who's that? You two monkeys. So how can I get rid of you guys? Come on, you guys are my brothers. Yeah.
Leroy says JT fangirled out on Rocafort. It was a little embarrassing.
So did you.
Sean was on cloud 9 that night. Just when I was on the Ott and Stuff anniversary show, after I did my giveaway, they're talking to Fraga, and I just look over at Sean, and he's like this with like little hearts in his eyes, just like, tell me more about the transporter, Dan. And Dan goes on for 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was good times. No, it's great when you chat with and you get a friendship with guys that you grew up on, respected, and idolize their work, and you know there's always that aspect of like, that's Dan Fraga, but it's also that's Dan, that's my guy Dan, you know. So I'm very lucky to have that in my life. It's very cool, man. You know, we're just people. We're just dudes. You're a dude. I'm a dude. Hail, brother Joe.
We got Joe Sontag in the house. What's up, guys? P.S. I'm halfway to midnight right now.
I don't know what that means.
Me either. Is it like he's high or something? I don't know.
I don't know. Fill me in. Fill me in like Craig David.
Mr. Von Stugel says, what does Leroy say more, like or Rocafort?
Rocafort.
Leroy says McNulty needs to do some art for Chocolate Starfish Comics. It's a natural fit.
For every remark I do on a chocolate starfish comic, I will draw a mustache on whoever it is. I will make it so. But Sean, have you thought about when you're doing your sketches for your preview book? Have you ever thought about doing the board for like a bag and board so that when you send it to them, it's always in the board clear plastic? So
I thought about doing that at first, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the boards that are made lately, they don't accept the ink properly, and they get very smudgy. So what I'm doing is, it will be a template. It's drawn first, and then I'm going to print it out like I do my commissions,
Right.
and then I'll just ink over it. It's going to be a traditional piece one way or another, but that's just my method. Many people do it. So I'll have the template set up for the head and for the bust, and then print it out, and then draw over it. So, and again, it's going to be about this, maybe about this size. It's going to be. I'm going to take an 11 by 17 page, cut them in half, and then see how it fits into the Gemini mailer. So in essence, you're still getting an original piece of art. It's
people care more about the inks than the pencils anyway.
Yeah, well, it's the final product.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I tell my students all the time, everyone wants the final product. No one wants to see the underdrawing that got erased due to the pens that were, on top of it.
And it's to make the art cleaner.
Right, exactly.
So that's just my method, and that's just how I go.
Sean, I hate to do this to you right now, but La Pod Gods was preempted because of Mother's Day. The people are dying to know two things. They want Phil and my take on Blood and Guts, and they want to know and they want to know who the oiliest wrestler of the week was last week.
Yeah, go for it. Wait. Is Amanda here? Because this is for her, right?
Well, it's really for Leroy. Leroy is the one who asked who the oiliest wrestler in wrestling was. Hey, man, we give the people what they want. We don't judge.
We don't judge, and the chat gets what it wants, because the chat matters.
All right,
but that's kind of suspect, Leroy. So I'm not judging.
Last week's oiliest wrestlers, it wasn't anything to write home about, but I'm gonna give it out to one person. I'm gonna see, Phil, if you agree with me.
Okay,
I'm giving it to Moose.
Moose. Oh, I've been on this I realized this is where the Roy loves it, right? He loves the hashtag rub it in, right? My oiliest wrestler of the week went to Cash Wheeler only because that bare chest and the way the hair on the chest was glistening. But I think you're right. I think Moose is
in the shape of his life, man.
And the way he speared, like he could have just rolled right off the ring and kept rolling with the amount of oil that was on him.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So
you
there you have
it. Guy's thighs too, Sean. You'll love. It's like chocolate thunder down there, baby.
Moose, oiliest wrestler of the week. I'm sorry I don't have a graphic this week. I'm not prepared. Blood and Guts, though. This was AEW's big event, big match. Two rings surrounded by a steel cage with a roof on top. This match was absolutely bloody. I saw people online complaining about the ending. I actually thought the match was great.
The ending was absolutely beautiful. I think someone in the WWE said it sent wrestling back 30 years. No, please send it back 30 years ago when we were at the height of when professional wrestling was starting to kick it into gear. The storytelling between having Sammy and Jericho, they're basically their bromance. The namesake for the Pod Gods came from the Sex Gods, which was the tag team between Jericho and Sammy. So it was awesome.
Hicks Villain says Blood and Guts set wrestling back 30 years, according to WWE, which might not be an insult.
Yeah, I agree 100. I mean, the storytelling was awesome. The blood was fantastic. So much blading in the match. It made me. I got so lost in it. It was so good.
Blading?
Not the rollerblading that Bancroft does. This is blading when you cut yourself to bleed. I Borrow Ideas says this is gayer than Bancroft in a blouse, rollerblading in short shorts. Yeah, my only nitpick with Blood and Guts is when MJF pushed Jericho off the top. They should have just had Jericho fall out of frame instead of following him all the way down. So what if he fell on a crash pad? Big deal. It didn't look as bad as people say, except when they kept going to Jericho laying there, and he's like opening his eyes, looking around and stuff.
Yeah, it's sort of like when the terrible explosion that didn't happen, and Eddie Kingston was like, "Oh no, I'm supposed to act like I'm dying," right? But if he do it like Rikishi. Remember that Hell in the Cell when Undertaker just grabbed him by the throat and threw him off?
Yeah,
he hit that crash pad under that, in that hay bale, and that was it. That's the last time we saw Rikishi. It would have been a much better story.
Yep. We got Johnny Cage in the chat. He says, "What about Miro? His oil took all of Darby's face paint." This is oils and Miro's in the running for oiliest wrestler this week. Phil and I, we missed La Pod Gods on Sunday, so we're getting people caught up on the oiliest wrestler of last week. So my apologies if I didn't make that clear. Moose is your oiliest wrestler from last week.
Don't worry, Johnny Cage. Miro, as long as he's on our television, he will continue to live on that graphic. We're gonna need someone who can make a little jingle for that intro every week because it's become the most popular segment of the show.
Yeah, maybe Joe. I heard he was in a band. Maybe he could
motherfucker.
sing us a little jingle. A metal growl of oiliest wrestler of the week.
God,
he's oily.
One more time. I'm kidding. Nah. Joe's band was awesome.
Leroy says, "Well, wrestling is less gay than Wolverine, at least." Sean reading a Wolverine comic
by Rob Liefeld, inked by Scott Williams, layouts by
except the faces. Rob was very vehemently, on that's one thing he always says is whenever he gets inked, no one ever inks his faces, and that's one thing.
Except for John Sabal.
So I love that. If I needed an inker, I'd be the same way. No one's inking over those faces, considering those are the money shots.
Leandro,
what's up, man? Thanks for joining us. Joe wants to know if you want him to tell you about the time he partied with Pantera. I Borrow Ideas. Does Phil have a channel that I can subscribe to? Just unsubscribe.
Yes, you can. I will take it. It's I think it's at Animated Phil. Whatever.
So the wrestling talk's over for now. But
when we have a more cultured chat, coming to see which man does not #rub it in.
I rub it out.
So speaking of which, Sean, what else have you been up to this week besides appearing on every stream?
Just working on Type 1 pages. I'm finishing up a piece for you. Loving the feedback that you guys are giving me. I got a piece that I'm going to be doing for one of the, how do I phrase this? For one of the dudes that has inspired me for a good long while. And I'm thinking about seeing if I can homage one of his first pieces because he does a lot of homage pieces. So I'm excited about that. Just working on more pages for the Type 1 preview. Just getting it done. I'm like, oh, I got an idea. I'm going to switch this out. We're going to put this to here and do this and whatever. But it's a lot of fun. I finally redone that page 2 and 3 that I must have redrawn that piece of shit at least 30 times. But this is my final. But I got to add some shrubbery, some stuff here and there. But this is what I want. This is what I want to go out of the gates like a Wildcats 5. Wildcats 5.
Yeah.
That Zealot piece is essentially what I'm like, I need my first real introduction to the character that people see him do similar to that. So that's, look, with Type 1, you've seen this cartoon before, but it's everything I love about comics from the 80s, the 90s, especially. The first scene is a jerk fest, if I will. it's money shots. It's jerk shots. It's the jerk shots. It's the money shots. So, but with telling a story to set everything up. So really cool.
We got Corey Barton in the house. What's
Corey,
up, Corey?
I got a traditional shirt on, so I'm not looking as punkish for you. But last night I was wearing a very nice Banana Republic shirt, and he called me a punk, which I'm like, what the hell? I even ironed it. Can't please everybody.
Leroy says, the more JT compares his work to Liefeld garbage, the less I want him back.
Okay,
I tell you, I love what I love.
Never be sorry for what you love, because, I mean, listen, there are a lot of comic books.
The famous Mo Biggs.
a lot about comic books is there are a lot of creators who won't give you the time of day. You know what I mean? Like, and it's very hard to get interaction with them. Like, I love Todd McFarlane. I met him once. I wish he would interact more with me when I send him stuff on Twitter and whatnot. But the one constant who will always interact with their fans is Rob Liefeld. You know what I mean? He's the first one to really go to me to a convention and tell me that he loves my stuff. Right? He's the guy who's actually gives you like encouragement no matter who you are. And I love that, because that's what we need as artists. Sometimes we're so critical on ourselves that when an artist with that type of prestige and, you know, catalog.
Dude, his enthusiasm is infectious. Like, after I talk to him or hang out with him, I talk like him. I'm like, I gotta get this, I gotta do that, I gotta, you know, like, because he talks really fast when he's excited, he's passionate, and it was really cool. I'm like, hey, when me and Phil really first got to know each other on like the con scene, the splintering. Ooh, I was like, hey, you want to meet Rob? And he was like, oh, and that was a great experience, because I love seeing Rob's interactions with not just fans but fellow artists. And it's genuine. He's not going to blow your ego just to blow your ego. And he knows of Phil, and he knows of Phil's talent, and he's like, what is he working on? You know, I'm like, I love seeing that. I love seeing just his passion for your passion, and it just feeds off all of us. You know, it's great, dude. It's great to talk. Like getting to meet someone like the heavy hitters in the comic industry, like Keith Giffen. I never thought I'd have a conversation with Keith Giffen like behind the table. You know, like that was awesome. I'm like, dude, you are the man. Like, nobody can do a better Jack Kirby impression than you. You know, and he's like, oh, thanks. You know, cool.
That was cool, because, you know, I was coming off a run where I was signed up to do X-Men 92, and that fell through. You know, I was working on these projects, and I was really hitting a lull because the William Shatner book I was on was just canceled, right? You know, the Kevin Smith cartoon show I was on was just canceled, and I was like,
hey, Amanda.
I was like, oh, this is it. And when Rob was like, what are you working on, Phil? And I'm just like, nothing. Should I be working on something? And he's like, hold up. You mean they didn't follow like my input? And I was like, wait a second, Rob, like put input for me? And then we talked about the Crunch and Munch card. And that was just like the best interaction I've ever had with the creator, because, you know, it's like, I think as artists, we always look for that validation, and we always see our favorites, especially the Image guys, like the Image 7. They're the ones who do it, right? They're the ones who sort of lead us. Like, we grew up in that generation. So for them to think of us and suggest our names and stuff is just something like mind blowing to me. As a kid, I'd never imagined that.
Yeah, it's great when they not just become your peers, but they become your friends. You know, there's like when they ask, hey, how's the family doing? How are you doing? You know, and it's genuine. Like, they really care. Like, case by case scenario, but I think we're all very blessed to have the people that we've met and have in our lives that have inspired us and keep us going, you know, because there's plenty of times where I'm like, my stuff is shit, but then when you get like some validation from someone you admire, you're like, fuck everybody else. I don't care what you think, you know, like, I'm Sean Ahrendt.
Right. It's amazing. The thing I tell my students all the time is, like, when they see my stuff, right, they're like, oh, Mr. McNulty, that's awesome. And I was like, well, you know, I was at a convention one time, and Rob, after Sean introduced me to him, and he walked past my table, he came over and he saw and I was working on a cable piece, and he said, He said, "That's how I always envision Cable." And I remember Sean was like, thumbs up because like it was funny because we just had that Cable Crunch and Munch card talk, and when for him to just say that's how I envision my character, there's no better feeling in the world.
Nope, no, it's great.
I believe Rob also told you work with this guy, and he pointed to me.
Probably.
He doesn't remember that part, but Rob clearly said that. So I've been pretty busy this week. Sea Dog closes this weekend. We're going to close down the in-demand store.
What day?
So I'm going to put in the request Saturday, but they're not going to get it until Monday. So the store's open this weekend. So I might as well just close it on Monday.
Makes sense. All right.
Yeah. So we're wrapping it up. Clint, I think, only has like 1 or 2 pages left. Andrew Dahlhaus is right behind him coloring it, and Dom behind both of them, just writing the dialogue. So we're pretty close to finishing this up. Actually after this, I have a stream with John and Eric Weathers. We're going over the lettering for Graveyard Shift 3.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, these lettering sessions can be brutal. Just John is very particular about the like balloon placement, stuff like that. So it can turn into an all-night session.
Well, that's important because you want the reader to follow the story properly. You want the font or the lettering to represent what it is. Where if you bold a word, which I brought up to you guys before, but I liked after I do my first initial lettering. Once I get back from Mark to do whatever to correction, I'd like to do like a green room chat between you guys, Joe. If Eddie Winkler is not busy because he's in fulfillment, I don't know if he'll have the time. Maybe get Phil Diaz there too, just to get everybody's opinion, see how it flows. Maybe even Rob the Replicator if he's not too angry at that part of the day, because I want the people to get the best for their buck, So.
No, I'm not allowed to have caffeine. Doctor made me give it up, man. I drink these non-caffeinated Zevias.
Nice.
We're getting old.
Yeah. I'm
We're
the
all
oldest.
42-year-old men, right?
I wish I could go back in time and be 42. But I've been working on the Viking Wolf Indiegogo page, getting it ready. We're launching May 28th on Bancroft's channel. I was wondering if, I don't know, people might find this interesting or boring. I don't know, but if they want to see an in progress Indiegogo page as I've worked on it, what it's up to.
Yeah, I believe so. I would. Joe would. Phil probably would as well.
All right. Yeah, I'll bring it up then. Yeah, I've been working on this all week. I still have to do all the different reward tiers, and my video is actually. I tried to show Phil a version of the video earlier before we went live, but for it just kept loading. It wouldn't play. So there's no video yet. But I have for the most part all of my art ready for this. This is the cover. This is cover A. Pencils by Matt Dalton, and colors are by Sebastian Cheng, who he's done a lot of stuff for Dynamite. Matt actually worked with him at Dynamite on a Red Sonja cover recently. That was a great Jimmy Walker, Sean, by the way.
Thank you.
Then we got a little summary about the book. Some interior pages. This is an interior page by Renzo.
Look at that perspective.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is on point.
We got some Viking wolves with their their domes cut off. Their brains are spilling out. Just I put it right in the front that this is for mature audiences. Lots of violence and gore in this book. Lots of blood. Here's a double page spread by Matt. Colors are by Dexter Weeks. Lots of cool stuff. Here's
another reach out to Dex.
Another splash page by Matt. This is Viking Wolf coming
to
to
say the
Earth.
same thing about your cover, Sean. I may reach out to Dex.
Oh.
And then here's another interior page by Renzo. This might be my favorite page in the book. nice head explosion.
Leandro.
Yeah, someone said that on your show. I guess when I was showing these off, that was hilarious. I think it was Lee. Was it Leroy who said that?
Probably.
Yeah. So some interior pages. Here's the. I got a cover by Jose Garcia, creator of Lumina Vox. This is for the black and white edition of the book. I was trying to find something cool to use Jose's cover for, and a lot of people have been saying they want a black and white version of the book. So I'm offering that, and Jose's cover is going to be the cover for that. And then just samples of what the black and white pages look like.
That's actually a reference of Matt before he was about to beat up Lando Calrissian back in Baltimore.
Oh yeah. For those that don't know, Matt is just follow him on Instagram. He's always posting workout videos. And then one of the features, one of the higher tiers is the Haunted Pizza Yearbook. Actually, I'm going to just make it a tier by itself where you can get it just by itself if you want. And that's in the tradition of like Extreme Studios Yearbook, where it'll have like all the creator biographies. It'll have pinups from all the creators I work with, introducing a new character, Gun Goth, that Mark Yoon and Dexter Weeks are doing with me. And Renzo did the cover. It features Gun Goth eating a slice of pizza. And this is going to be a foil cover book. I'm excited. You gave me the hookup, Sean. I talked to them. And yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Fucking A.
And then, of course, while we're all here, the first 100 backers get a free Moral Compass minifigure. Most beloved American folk hero since Johnny Appleseed, Paul Bunyan.
So you can also play with Mark Poulton too. I'm gonna play with Mark Poulton in the tub. It's gonna be great. My rubber ducky.
There will be a contest once people get their Moral Compass minifigures. It's going to be photo photography, best photo. You can have me interacting with Batman, Spider-Man, Thanos, whatever. Best photo wins a 1 of 2 Moral Compass box set.
Ooh, what is this?
It's one of the collector's cases. That I'm so. Oh, speaking of the collector cases, I think I drove the price up on them. I went to order some more, and the place I get them from, they upped their price like a lot. So I think I'm not the only person using them to get the collector cases now. So they're price gouging. So oh well. I might have to just start getting custom boxes made. It might be cheaper.
The Eddie Winkler box.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic.
And I was just thinking, that's, as a collector, I'm someone who always keeps the boxes for like effing everything. That's what I'm thinking about doing. I just love that.
Amanda says too much information, JT.
Which time?
Playing with Mark.
Oh.
Joe wants to play with me. Splatgut says he will go. The Moral Compass will go with his Jay and Silent Bob mini mates. Oh, that'd be awesome.
I love Splatguts. Yeah, just play with Mark like I do.
Walt says he wants a collector's case. Yeah, so if you win the Moral Compass photo photography, you'll get it'll be. I was going to say 1 of 1, but I want one for myself because I need to have one of everything I put out. So it's 1 of 2 Moral Compass box set. And of course, you'll get like first printing of Graveyard Shift. I'm going to try to fit. Maybe you'll even get the Graveyard Shift ash can in there from way back in 2011.
Oh, yo, yeah, I got mine. Over there. Yeah, for sure.
Leroy wants to know, wait, why is Phil staring at Eddie's box?
The beautiful box. Beautiful box.
We got Riverbend Bear with us. What's up, man?
What up, buddy?
So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Of course, I made my little chart. So I just, rest assured, you're going to get your book. This is everything I've made over the last 3 years. And the book's actually 100% completed art and color wise. So yeah, we're in good shape. And the first 9 pages are already lettered by Eric Weathers. And then I already have my first 2 stretch goals in place: $5,000, a foil trading card to all backers featuring art by Ott and Stuff's Joe M. Sontag.
And that piece is vicious. Vicious.
Yeah. And then at $10,000, a 6x9 mini print to all backers featuring art by Shadow Sentry's, I hope I'm saying this right, Eric Ninoltowski. Eric drew this on his YouTube channel last Friday. He does Fan Art Friday, and I was the first person to jump in and comment. I commented Viking Wolf, so he drew Viking Wolf for me. So, yeah.
That looks like a Jim Lee sketch commission with Jim Lee cares to draw.
Eric is very underrated as an artist. He's one of the dudes that I see on the comic convention scene all the time, and he's the one dude where very rarely do you look at other artists and be like, man, why isn't he in the comic book industry? Eric, like why didn't, not comic book industry, but why hasn't he been picked up by the big 2, quote unquote, right? Eric was always that guy. Every time I see him at a show, I'm like, man. But then you realize when he does his own shit, it is so good. So shout out to Eric. I love it.
Yeah, Shadow Sentry is one of my favorite books. He's actually launching book 2 in June. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. He's a great artist. Joe M. Sontag says, I love collecting boxes. Trying to get inside the box is the fun part. The Splintering. Is this a one-shot story or a part of a series? This is book 1 of many, hopefully. I'm already writing book 2. Joe, you got the comment of the night. You're cracking Sean up.
He's like, I'm in the band. I'm in the box.
How many boxes has he gotten because he's in a band? That was in a band, right?
Oh, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Let's go there now.
Right,
Let's go there. Let's go there. I got my X-Men 92 cover. I'll be glad to pull out from the resources how many times I got dicked over by that. But anyway.
So Joe says a lot.
Some might brag about it, but not him.
So that's all I have so far for the Viking Wolf campaign. I have to go and add all the tiers. This is going to be a lot of reward tiers because Matt has donated all of his artwork to the campaign. So I will have a tier for every page and every splash page that he's put up. Yeah, and the cover too.
That's going to sell quickly.
Like, I'm excited for it.
Guys price it accordingly to what they're worth.
I'm pricing it as what I feel it's worth.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm comparing to what I see other campaigns offer this stuff for too. So yeah, it'll be. I think there's total of 3 double page spreads that he did throughout the book. So yeah,
well worth it. Gonna be well worth the hard-earned money these fans are gonna be spending. It's cool.
Mark, is there a way that, I don't know how this goes depending on different artists and different properties and where they're printed, but is there a way you can collect all the covers of everything you've done in the last 3 years? Like sort of, like the Jim Lee comic book, like the trading card comic where I had all is there a way you can do that? Or do you have to also give the percentages to the artists who worked on them, on those covers? I just wondering how that works, considering they're all crowdfunded by you.
Well, some of the properties I own with another creator, so I would just have to talk to them and work out a deal. So I don't think it would be too hard to do something like that.
I think because just taking a look at that, it makes me think, you know what? I want a collection of that. I'd love to just go through each individual cover. I remember those are my favorite things about the Marvel Universe handbooks and the DC Who's was I just loved learning about the creators and seeing that, like,
Right.
the cover and what went into the behind it, almost like the director's cuts, like the Jeff Johns Green Lanterns director's cuts were awesome. And I think, like, there's so many talented artists and the stories are so good, Mark, that you should, like, I would love to have a collection of that.
Yeah, that's something to definitely think about. You know, I thought like the yearbook would kind of serve that purpose, just to have like all of my my IPs in one place.
Right.
So there's a lot of like new artwork, new pinups that people haven't seen before in the Haunted Pizza yearbook. There's a piece that Matt Dalton did of Graveyard Shift that so far has only been used as a t-shirt, which you can get at graveyardshiftmerch.com. Go check it out. Tons of cool shirts there. But you know, there's a Sea Dog piece by Cedric McCann. Sean's doing a Sea Dog piece. Dex is working on a new Gun Goth piece.
That's probably one of my most detailed pieces I've done in recent times.
Yeah, no, it's looking great, man.
I think what's funny is the longer Sean has worked on Type 1, you can see there's a reason why he keeps reworking his older pages, because the longer he works on it, he's just starting to realize that the artwork gets better with each page, and he's probably like, you know what, let me go back and give that care, that zealot, you know, that zealot Ripclaw.
Like, for like a decade, I went to a simplistic line or more of a toonier aspect and relied more on the colors. Like Kari Randolph was a huge inspiration. So while I was trying to do like cool
I
lines,
once compared him to Mike Parobeck, and he got pissed off, but he never told me about it.
Well, you compared me to like his Elongated Man stuff, and while it was cool, like I wish it was his Guy Gardner stuff, because that shit is legit.
Yeah.
So, but no, like it's like I was talking to Marat at New York in 2019, and he's like, I don't get why you aren't as detailed with everybody that you like. And I'm like, it kind of clicked then. And then like just having conversations with you guys and Joe, you're like, why aren't you more detailed? So now like it's just kind of clicking, where it's like I'm getting back to, it's like I'm going home in a sense.
Right.
You know, that, so I'm picking up more tricks. I just want to give the best product I can to everybody that's spending their money. You know?
I don't, Phil, I don't know if you saw this, but I tried to, when Sean shared a page that he's worked on before, I said, sometimes you just got to say it's done and walk away. And Sean was like, no, the fans deserve the best. He was like shaming me in our private chat. And I just like slunk. I just like stepped back into the bushes like Homer Simpson. I was like, damn, Sean's putting me in my place.
I didn't mean it like that. I just meant like, you know, like, it's like, here I am, motherfuckers. Like, you haven't seen nothing yet. I'm gonna noodle the shit out of these pages, you know. Like I just like I have a lot of I don't want to say spite. I have a lot of spite, and spite is good. Like for people that haven't like believed in me in the past, like I'm just like, I want to show you motherfuckers where I am and who I am. I'm gonna give you the most goddamn awesome visuals of your life. I hope. But yeah, I'm just really inspired, and it's been a horrible year, but this has been a good learning experience. You know, I'm just fucking pumped to get my kids out. That I know.
No, he set me straight. No more bare minimum, Mark. I got to give my best.
No half-assing it. Am I right, gentlemen?
So what else is new? Phil, anything?
Fill us in.
Oh, geez.
In a segment we now call Fill Us In.
So I'm gonna take us back to 2015, and I applied for an ad on Craigslist for comic book artists, right?
Oh,
and I got hooked up with a independent comic company that was only known for doing scantily clad calendars, right? So I got signed up with that, and the editor kept telling me, draw like Jack Kirby, draw like Jack Kirby. This book is a Jack Kirby book. You see my artwork, it's nothing like Jack Kirby, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, well, fuck, right? So I'm drawn to like Jack Kirby, and he's like, okay, this is pretty good, this is good. And then he was like, oh, Phil, this is going to be the last issue of the book. So I said, okay. I was a half an issue in, right? And then I'm doing one. He's like, so he said, you know what? If he's got at this point, I realized this is the last book it is. I'm not going to do Jack Kirby style because that's just not me. So I went in and I did it my 90s way I could. And I'll never forget that editor said, why haven't you been giving me this stuff the entire time? And I'm just like, because if you try to put an artist in a box and tell them someone they're not, you're not going to get the artwork you desire. And and it was then that the dominoes started to fall, and I started to actually get my artwork out there. And that's what sort of is reminding me of Sean's artwork in a way, and the fact that it almost had the one thing. There's an artist who I won't name, but he had a run on Daredevil, and Sean and I talked at a convention about it. And Sean was like, "I'm tired of this simplistic shit," and I was just like. I was like, Sean, what the hell, man? Like that's what you're doing, right? And then and I'm like, what's going on here? And then at the convention, like I bought the Gambit from him, and I'm like, what'd be cool is that a little more cross hatching, you know? And I think it's finally glad to see Sean is just kind of like, I am what I am. So. I just always remember that editor who was trying to scam Mark out of thousands of dollars to become his PR editor.
So I sat next to this publisher, and he wanted to publish Graveyard Shift, but he was only going to charge me and John $10,000 to publish it because we were pros. We knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
He was giving me a break. Only $10,000 to publish this book. Yeah.
Why didn't you jump on it?
I still think it was the wrong decision not to go with him. He was going to have us rubbing elbows with Stan Lee at conventions and everything.
I got that too. I love when he's like, hey Phil, we got a nice setup for you. It's gonna be. He's like the ACBC Atlantic City Boardwalk Con, and then Stan's gonna come out. And he's going to anoint you and Wilson as the next great creative team, right? He goes, but of course, I get layouts. And I'm like, you son of a bitch, right? You've not done one iota of shit on these books, right? And I just remember Stan's wife at the time fell ill, and Stan couldn't make it. So I remember getting the phone call, hey, Phil, so... Stan's not gonna make it, but William Shatner's plane is getting in early. He may need a ride, and I'm just like, what? Like, I will always be grateful for those moments because it was really learning from those past experiences, and now
that bullshit must run in the family, I guess.
Oh. yes, because sometimes you add words to things and you become a creator of sorts.
Yeah, and you might get bigger than you are supposed to be when you had nothing to do with it. If you catch my drift.
No. No.
You might be the little fishies that chase the shark, getting the scraps from something somebody else built a legacy on, if you catch my drift.
You know, maybe even a few movies. Or
your wife can be your press agent on the premiere of a certain sequel, and when the press agent wants to go to like ET and they find out who they are and what they did, they just kind of shrug you off. But I didn't see that firsthand. No, I didn't witness that. I didn't witness none of the major TV outlets just be like, "Who are you? You're not him."
You didn't see any of this, Sean. And you know what? I know nothing of this because this sounds like a guy just fell into someone else's talent. Am I right?
I will spread that rumor. I would spread that rumor.
All right.
Yeah, he's just a scripter.
Brutal. That Atlantic City Comic Con, Arcana, when I wasn't really working for them, but I'm still friendly with the owner, Sean O'Reilly. They went all out for that convention because they were working with Stan Lee on a project, so they had a huge booth at that convention, and they sent stuff to me, and I went and I set it up the night before, and then that night I got a call from Sean O'Reilly saying, just between you and me, Stan's not coming, and I'm not coming. The booth is yours. Do whatever you want with it. So I had a huge booth to this show for the weekend. But the show was kind of I love the idea of a big show in Atlantic City, and they just didn't have the crowd there.
Yeah, prostitutes and comics. You can't go wrong.
But I enjoyed my time there. I had a huge booth for free, so it was fun.
No, it was
nice.
It was great. I had a free booth. You know, one of the few things Shatner really did for that show was he was like, I want a booth for these artists, so I got a comp table. You know, and they were like, I want him in this area here, which is cool. And he was like, I want him in the green room, so I was able to sit in the green room.
Oh, I always go to the green room. You just walk in there like you're supposed to be there. Like, get my coffee.
You know,
like, they don't know. Like, as long as you have like your pro badge on, they're not gonna be like, who are you? Unless some people, like if some people's agents may ask, you just be like, oh, I'm with them, or I'm
right.
Oh, here's a funny story. So 2018 of New York Comic Con. Yeah. So I didn't have a table that I gambled on. Oh, it happens. So they blocked off Artist Alley before people could get in. And, you know, I have my credentials and all that, but not for Artist Alley. So I got my coffee and and it's really early in the morning. And you know me, I'm not a morning cat. I'm just like, fuck the world. So I'm trying to walk in and the security guard's like, hold, this is only for Artist Alley people, because different badges, whatever for the area. And I'm like, I'm Sean Ahrendt. And they're like, oh, go ahead. And then I just sat it with Adelso for a couple. I don't get that. Hold on.
Sean thinks just anyone could pull off pretending you're Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, not just anybody. This guy. But yeah. So I was just like, I'm Sean Ahrendt. And then when I told all the fellas, they're like, you're magical. I'm like, I am a con artist after all. Shout out to Melanie Sala.
Sean, did you see there's another new convention come to New Jersey? I think it's called like New Jersey Pop or something like that. PopCon or something like that.
Nah, when and where? I probably won't do it.
I think it's this summer sometime.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be doing any shows coming up soon.
Cole Mantis went to Montreal Casino, lost $100 on the way there.
Oh.
I'm always hesitant to go to a new show the very first year it comes out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Really?
No, not me. I love going to new shows, especially Geeks at the Beach. This was a first-time convention. Just absolutely great.
Well, here's the thing. I know the promoter of that show. You got to know the promoter. And if the promoter knows how to promote a show, you know, and I don't know. Like,
I'm not pointing fingers.
And then you get his best friend to get you tables and shows, and then you're just there having a grand ass time. Now those are the shows I like.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
but seriously, remember I went to the Newark Comic Con the first year it opened up, and I realized it was just for this guy to hang out with nobodies and like say prove to his friends that he could put on a show, and it fucking sucked. And that's why it lasted 2 shows and then died a horrible death.
Phil's throwing people under the bus.
I went on I Sell Comics with Mike and Ming, right? Because they were always like, you're part of the Smodco family. Come on anytime, right? So I was like, hey, I'm gonna be in a show, like, and you mind if I promote the Shatner book and whatnot? So I went on there. It was a fun ass time, and I was just like, for that dude to run a show so poorly after he asked me to do some promotional work on there, like I was glad to have distanced myself
Did you get
from
paid for
a
it at
show like
least?
that. What's up?
Did you get paid for it at least?
No, because what I did was I was going to be on the show anyway. So I was kind of like, you hook me up with a good spot and a free table, and
Right.
I will promote your show on this podcast, on this very popular podcast, So
Cool. Well, it all works out one way or another.
right,
But no,
right.
the first Geeks at the Beach was great. Just to
Mhm.
blow my own ego, we got our local NBC came and they interviewed us, and
That's the infamous graveyard shift T-shirt interview.
yeah. So I wore my graveyard shift T-shirt that Mark and John gave me, the gold members, because I've been there since Jump Street with Mike McMahon. I don't like to brag, but I do. And so I took a screenshot of it. I put it on Twitter. I noticed I lost some followers, and I was blocked by a certain image creator. And then Mark shared the photo, and not to sound menacing, I had to rethink from how I said it last night in the show. I didn't mean it to come off like, oh, Mark, but you shared the photo, and it got more looks, and then less subscribers. And I don't give a fuck. Like at the end of the day, I don't care. So it was all good times. But I got to get the GS brand out on Delmar TV, where local news matters. Which I
We're
don't think
big
it
there
does.
now, thanks to you, Sean.
Look, I do what I can when I can do it. I'm there for you guys.
The home of Graveyard Shift.
The home of Graveyard Shift, Lewis, Delaware, the first town or city in the country.
That's what makes the show great, Black Guts.
What did you say? I didn't.
He said most of what you guys are talking about is some form of degeneracy or another.
Well, yeah, that's what makes us best friends.
I think what even the chat would admit, what they like most about this show is we pull no punches. We're best friends who talk. Like, people act like they don't talk shit about people behind their back. We just do it on an open forum on YouTube and share it relentlessly. So I mean, I think that's why the chat, which I love our episodes when they kind of get to cast us, because I always say we must be doing something right if they can cast us exactly how we would cast ourselves, and that's what makes. So you may lose some subscribers or followers based on what, but the true follow you no matter what and will support you no matter what. Those are the people. Those are the people who will go out and go find your Etsy page. I found a CGer who just said, you know what, I saw the stream and I saw your Etsy artwork and I had to buy a few prints. So it's like,
I'm Mexican on paper. I'm good. I'm the minority. I'm the diseased minority of the group. So don't worry. I got all bases covered, buddy. We're good.
We got Fenrir Fire in the house. What's up, man? We're getting close to wrapping this up. I have a lettering session I'm gonna have to get ready for. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys would like to discuss before we wrap this up?
I think we've got everything in. It was kind of spontaneous, which I think makes the shows better. Like for our format, where we just kind of pull out random topics like here and there. I think that's about it.
All right. Phil, where can people find you at?
Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Animated Phil, and my Etsy shop located in the link.
Are you going to be sharing updates of your Type 1?
I think I may complete it, and then I will give it to Sean, and then we'll set up a day for art and stuff, and we'll go put it up there. I want it to be like whenever Mark releases a possible cover for it. Like, there's a nice, like, sometimes when you see the in progress, you can be like, oh, I can't wait. Or sometimes you can be like, okay, that's cool. I like the smack dab finished piece out there. Like, the updates I'll obviously share with Sean so he can go in there. But I think what was cool about seeing Viking Wolf was just seeing the finished black and white art, and then the updates with the color really like pulled me in even more. So I want to get the book, the possible cover or whatever it's going to be used as done first, and then like Sean said, put it up and see if the chat digs it, because the fans are who we listen to.
Yeah, no, the hard facts. I concur like a motherfucker on that one.
Yeah, no bare minimum. No half-assing.
No half-ass McNulty right here. Just a full ass.
Sean.
Phil will fill it in and we'll phone it in.
Sean, where can people find you on social media?
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Art and Stuff with Joe M. Sontag, who's buddies with the Pope, on Wednesday and Friday nights, 9 p.m. East Coast time. Tomorrow, I'm not sure about the guest. We were talking to somebody. I don't know if that's confirmed or not or whatever, but we'll play by ball and see how that goes. But yeah, also 68. I got 68. Yeah, 68 pre-orders already for the Type 1 preview book. Shelby Robertson's recolors on my cover. Fucking slayed it. Awesome. Going till June 14th. Hit me up in my DMs if you would like to be put on the list, and I'll tell you how to send payments. And yeah, thank you to everybody that just supports all of us, Joe included. Joe's the redheaded cousin of Best Friend Show, but Joe's a brother. But no, like I see this. I said this before. I see the success of what I have for the preview book. His success too, Art and Stuff success, and then like Reaper Destroyer is mine as well, because this is like an in-house thing between him and I. So it's great. I think we're both on to a great start, and we love everybody that's there for us. So thank you all.
Cool, man. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Coney Waves. Make sure you subscribe to Primetime Poulton. Hit those notifications. Sea Dog and Codename Kill Switch. The in-demand store closes this weekend. If you haven't backed the book, this is your last chance to get that awesome Dan Fraga cover. Remember, Viking Wolf launches May 28th on Bancroft's channel. And that's it. Oh, tomorrow I'm going to be on Mandy's show. We're doing a closeout stream for Sea Dog. So
what time is that?
I think like 9 o'clock. I'm not positive though. But anyway,
we'll stream snipe you.
Oh, sounds good, man. All right, man. Thanks for everyone in the chat. You guys have been great, and we will see you next week, man. Thanks for watching.